I'm Jenny.
I'm Kat.
I'm Seb.
I'm Beth.
And we are
Behind the Research!
Hello and welcome back to another video. In this video we are taking you behind the scenes of one of SAMBa's Integrative Think Tanks, or ITT for short. SAMBa is the Centre for Doctoral Training for Statistical Applied Maths at the University of Bath, which is the PhD programme that we belong to. The ITT is a week-long event which SAMBa runs twice a year. During this week, two partners from industry are invited to present some of their problems to the students and staff of the maths department, who then spend the week formulating these problems mathematically and come up with proposals for solving them. This video documents SAMBa's 16th ITT on the topic of tackling challenges in global energy provision, with partners Schlumberger and the CEA. In this vlog, Kat and Seb follow Jenny and Beth, who are participating in the ITT, as they share with us their experiences during the week, and we go behind the scenes and see how academic research is done in this fast-paced, intense environment. Just a quick disclaimer, this is our first video project, so there are some audio issues. We're sorry, we're learning. So come with us as we take you behind the research.
Hello! Today we're here at Queen Square, so just outside the BRLSI.
Do you know what it means?
British Royal
Literary and Scientific Institute.
Yeah, that's where we are today. And we're here for our ITT.
What is an ITT?
Twice a year we have this industry week where partners from industry come and they give us problems that they want solving, and then we kind of spend the week formulating them mathematically and this is what we would do.
How does the ITT fit into your PhD?
Me, I'm in my MRes year of SAMBa, and so the ITT is part of my assessment in terms of building doctoral skills and engagement and that sort of thing. So I get assessed on presentations and I have to write a report on the project that we do afterwards.
I'm in my second year, so pressure's a bit off for me. I'm not assessed on for all. But in our second year, so first year PhD, second year SAMBa, we do have to do at least one ITT.
What is the structure of the ITT?
So the Monday, Tuesday are mainly presentations from the partners themselves. So usually it works like they'll give a presentation. It gets split into like little groups discussion. So it's a mixture of like first year PhD students, older PhD students, and then academics as well. And then we talk about like, oh, I think this project contains optimization, or I think this project has a little bit of probability.
And then from the Tuesday afternoon onwards, we form even smaller groups and we start to work on some of the problems that we think could have something like good coming out of them. We spend the rest of the week working on those and trying to see, I suppose, what we can do with them and where they could go in the future.
And then Friday, basically, all of the first years give their presentations to the partners about what was done during the week, and yeah, it's fun. I love it.
It's time to start day one now.
Follow us, let's go! This morning we've been listening to our partner presentations. So I don't think we said who our partners were. We are working with Schlumberger and the CEA. I think the main topic is on like energy. What is our theme? ITT16, tackling challenges in global energy provision.
There we go. Good job.
It's been a really, really fun morning. We got free coffee and pastries. We got in and we heard first from CEA on kind of the nuclear stuff, which is really, really interesting. And then from Schlumberger, some kind of parameter optimization was basically their problem. So really, really good. Coffee's waning a little bit. I'm getting my second round of pick-me-up. But we're next going into the like mini group discussions, and we'll try and kind of be like, I think this much goes there, I think this much goes there.
So is there any maths that you think might come up that you're excited about for the next bit?
At the minute, I think it's difficult to tell. It's interesting to pick apart applications, but I think a lot more of the maths comes out of the group discussions, and that's where we really sort of start to get into the nitty gritty and like deciding what maths goes where and formulating problems. So I think I'll have more information once we've done that part.
how was day one?
Day one was good. As you can see, we have so many problems that have been suggested, or just like methods of tackling things.
You heard it here first, folk. Jenny Power has so many problems.
That's why I always joke. That's why I became a mathematician, because I can't solve any of my own problems, so at least I can solve some math problems instead.
So why wine? Why do we have wine?
It's just a treat for the end of the day. We're currently having an informal networking session.
So are there any projects in particular that look like something interesting for you guys?
I have engineered some mathematical biology-based projects, which I would like to work on. I have my ways. I'm holding up for tomorrow, to be honest. There's one on actual radioactive core modeling itself, which seems a bit more up my speed rather than. It seems like there might be some PD constraint optimization tomorrow, whereas today is more. It was fun. And there's stuff that I would do from today, but I'm holding out for tomorrow.
But we get more partner presentations tomorrow and then more discussions on top of this.
So when do you pick projects?
That'll be tomorrow afternoon, and then we split off into much smaller groups and start to work on them, which is where the fun starts.
Any further comments you want to make?
Cheers!
Yeah, cheers!
Good morning.
Good morning.
How are we feeling today?
I'm feeling quite well, actually. Yeah, it's a lovely sunny day. I'm feeling good.
So what's the plan for today? What have we got on the schedule?
So today we've got more partner presentations this morning, and then some more group discussions to come up with some more ideas of possible projects. And then this afternoon we start clustering into topics.
Yeah. So clustering, that sounds quite technical. What's that mean?
So after all of the group discussions, so today and yesterday as well, we write down all of the ideas that we came up with during the session on these sticky notes, and at the end of all of the group sessions we go up and kind of explain what we came up with, and they get stuck on these, basically on the wall, roughly in relevant topics, right? So if two different groups said, let's use a PDE model, that goes in like the one section, and that's done for the two different companies. Clustering then, after everything's done, all the group discussions have been had, the leads in charge of SAMBa, they go together and they kind of think, okay, this might be a nice project, and like what this group came up with and what this group came up with, they work well together, so they become like an official project. So after all of that, we get to come in and choose what project we want to work on. PhDay gets first pick, as the babies.
Who are being assessed on it?
Who are being assessed on it. That is the key. Yeah, they are being assessed. So they get first pick, and then I guess older PhD students and academics kind of plot themselves on whatever projects they think. And yeah, we start working then pretty much after that. Clustering can take a while, but after that we get, I think, maybe an hour and a little bit of some team working into our groups, and
And I don't think we're not expected to come up with any sort of solid ideas at this point. It's just really like you say, we only have a couple of hours.
Yeah.
So it's just about kind of getting an idea of where we might want to go with the project over the next couple of days.
as part of the assessment, the cohort aides have to present at least once this week. There's 2 slots of presentations. There's tomorrow morning and then this Friday. Friday's the big one. It's like when you summarize what we've actually done. But tomorrow morning is basically just 5 minutes of what the plan for the next 2 days is. I imagine most of the working this afternoon will be just figuring out what that is, and then the cohort aides stressing about the presentation tomorrow morning. But yeah, I think it's about time. We probably should head in, get our morning coffee, and yeah, say hello to everyone.
Okay, so what are we looking at here?
Oh, hi there. So, basically, after all the presentations and discussions that were had over the last couple of days, exec have basically taken all of our handwritten sticky notes and made electronic sticky notes instead, and they kind of clustered them together, and then picked the main areas that they want to look at. So that's all of the things. The blue circles is like the main project, so we only got a few pages of those, and then it's basically a big scramble for all of the students to put their name beside the project that they want to work on. So fingers crossed to get the one that I've put down.
So what have you picked?
So I Ghostrifter methods on polygons. So basically kind of on the mesh stuff. So yeah, it should be really, hopefully it should be fun.
Everybody, can we all please go into the other room?
everybody else has then just jumped in those groups as well. So we're now moving into set groups to sort of have a little bit of discussion about what we're going to do with the project.
Sounds good. And what are you working on?
So I'm working on the particle simulations for in a nuclear reactor model. So I think there's probably, looking at the people and the types of interests that put their names down for that group, there's probably going to be a little bit of a difference in opinions of what the project could be done. But there is the potential to split into two different groups and take two different approaches. So I'm hoping that we can use like a run-tunnel mechanism, which is what I wanted.
Very nice. Well, good luck.
Thank you.
Hey, so what's been happening this afternoon?
We have clustered and we have gone into our groups. So I got the group I wanted. Overall, we're looking at polygonal meshes and particularly discontinuous Galerkin methods. What
does
it
that
actually means. So you can think about it, right? We want to solve an equation over a particular area, right? Let's say it's this table. It's quite difficult, numerically anyways, to solve equations over like a huge shape. So instead what we do is we divide the big shape into like loads of little mini shapes, right? Triangles is the most common one that's used in like this discretization, but the company that we're working with, they want to see if they can use hexagons, just because it matches really, really well with these like nuclear reactor rods. They're hexagon shaped, so it's like, it would be more accurate if we would model the actual domain as hexagons, because it matches really, really well with the actual physics and what is happening. So that is what we're looking at. We've already split into like little mini side projects. So what I'm looking at, so sometimes, and really the main problem we're looking at is like what happens when like a nuclear reactor core melts, right? So these rods, which are like, you can think of them as hexagonal prisms. So when the core melts, these don't keep their shape, right? They do melt. And sometimes you find at the top that instead of being a straight thing like this, it goes out like that and it melts outwards. And they call this effect flowering. So I'm working on Project Flower Power, which I've nicknamed because it's cool, flower power.
And it matches your earrings.
It matches my earrings. Yeah, that's me for the rest of the afternoon. I'm just going to keep working away. We've decided who's doing the presentations in the morning. We have so many cohort 8s in my group, so it's not going to be me.
The next day.
In the Z direction to model how the rods are bending. So it's polygonal meshes in the XY domain, and then we'll do Cartesian splitting in the Z.
So this morning we're going to have a bunch of talks just from each individual group, very limited to 5 minutes each. So first up we have Anna and Beth.
Is this on?
Yeah.
Is this thing on? Sorry, that's cool. Hello MTV and welcome to my crib.
Cauliflower and like tzatziki or something? Buongiorno.
Is this too much food? Or is it not enough food? I am 7 cauliflower tarts in. I am a cauliflower tart. Yeah, no, the day is going fine. We had presentations this morning by our cohort 8s and me, because for some reason the lead of my projects has just been like, we are now 3 projects. So it was like 10 minutes before, it was like, Jenny, you're going to do a presentation. I'm like, oh, okay. But yeah, it's just been good. I've been doing some reading of some papers. Yeah, really enjoying the project, to be honest, that I'm working on. So I'm just kind of trying, I'm in the process of just reading some literature, and then maybe I'll get some modeling results later. But yeah, that's me.
So how's your day going?
It's not going too badly. I think it's difficult to make an assessment of where progress is at this point. So I guess we have like preliminary discussions on the Tuesday afternoon to get ready to do the Wednesday presentations. And so we've just summarised really this morning the presentations, like what we think we'd like to do. And then so it's really only like the last few hours that we've actually started working on what we would like to do. And so that's when I guess you encounter like a few of the like challenges in the problems that you might you might have to face. So I think we are slowly making progress, and we've got a good team. So I don't doubt that, like, with another full day of work tomorrow, we should hopefully get somewhere. So I ended up switching projects yesterday.
Okay, tell me more about that.
So we had an idea for a different project, and I think it just depends on. There was a few of us in the team that wanted to run with one particular thing, but I think it depends on the academics and the other people in the team that had very different ideas to what we started out with. And it's good in some sense that we acknowledge that, because we think that the other people and the other ideas are better for the partners. So it was agreed that we could perhaps give more value to a different group, which is why we've moved. And yes, I think it's definitely worked out for the better. But it's good that we were given the flexibility. Yes, we were able to change like so early on. We realised that maybe it wasn't what we expected.
What are you working on? What is your project?
So my project is to do with like geothermal energy. And so we're sort of looking at a toy model, in the particular case of Beth, and that the water comes down from the Mendic Hills into the underground flow, and then comes up to Beth, and it's lovely and warm. And apparently there's another fault in the rock somewhere where a village could like siphon off our water and like steal all of Beth's tourism. So we are looking at coupling like a continuum-based model for the fluid flow and then an agent-based model for the interactions on the surface to try and figure out whether that could be done and still sort of sustain the water flow to Beth's Bar. So it's like a co-simulation model looking at how the agents interact with the continuum, which are usually like very different types of maps, very different models. So it's not something that is done very regularly. But it's quite interesting because that's the sort of thing that I might actually end up doing in my PhD.
Cool. So looking at like individual behaviour mixed with a bigger.
So this is kind of a little precursor to what I could be doing.
Very exciting.
So I am happy with my project in the end.
How's it going?
Hi. Yeah, fine. In I'd say the last hour, I think I'm kind of have more of a clear idea. I found kind of a model I think that might work, and particularly I had a chat with one of the partner who's associated with our project, and actually got more of a good idea on how the nuclear reactors work. I wasn't quite sure how to incorporate the force, but at the moment I'm just going to be focusing on liquid is pushing against the edge of the rod, and that's what I'm going to focus on as my force, and that's what's pushing it. Because I initially thought I was going to be modelling for when it was to potentially go into some sort of meltdown, but apparently this flowering effect just happens anyways, and it's not good. They don't like it that it happens, but it's like the velocity isn't straight up, it does kind of deviate a little bit. So that's what I'm going to try and do in the next, I guess, an hour and a bit for today and then tomorrow. So. Wednesday, which is crazy. Don't know where the week has gone so far. So we managed to spend the day in our teams working together. Morning started off with presentations.
Which we both ended up doing one.
Yeah, Beth was very good actually. Lunch was nice today. Lunch was very good today. If you catered those cauliflower tarts, thank you. And I spent the day working. At the moment, I'm actually really happy with my end of day progress. I think I have some questions I need to ask the industry partner tomorrow, but other than that I think I have a good, just good formulation so far. I think I'm hoping to start some coding tomorrow.
Yeah, I mean we've got quite a big team working on the same problem but in different areas, and I think we possibly could have made more progress today. But it's difficult to sort of say that when we've still got loads of time to actually work on it, and you don't appreciate how much you can get done in a day. So to have like a full day tomorrow to still work on it, I'm hoping that we
That's
will.
the thing. I feel like everything always just comes together on the Thursday. Because Wednesday you feel like, oh my gosh, we have so much time, and then it comes to Wednesday evening, you're like, oh, actually maybe we don't have so much time. But then Thursday is just super fun progress. So right, I think it's time to go home. So bye. How you doing? So on a Thursday, it's just work. Yeah, nothing too exciting.
Really not, and I think it's good though because it is the only day that we get to really get stuck in without any distractions. So like Wednesday mornings we have the presentations, and you only really get started by lunchtime.
True.
Yeah. So it is quite nice to have a whole day where we can just get stuck in and make some good progress.
Yeah, definitely. It's kind of this is gonna be the most boring day for footage. So thanks for still watching. Appreciate it. I came in at 10 to 9. So we're doing this is a little bit later in the morning that we're catching up.
We've had a couple of hours in our groups at this point.
So I can tell you what the plan for the day is now. Kind of did some work in our groups. The supervisor in charge of our project basically came in and was like, I had a thought in the car, and kind of was like, oh, I think we should do this. So it's more of a future work plan. I actually thought I was going to end up doing some coding today, but the thing that he's kind of decided could be good is like these curvilinear polygons, which is not a today thing. It is kind of very much a future work.
Explain what a curvilinear polygon is to someone.
So you have a regular polygon, right? Okay, which is a shape with a number of sides. Okay, so like a pentagon is a type of polygon. A hexagon, which is what we're mainly focusing on. So you can think about it is that I have a polygon, like a hexagon base, and then I like stretch it up so I have like a cylinder, but instead of a circle it's a hexagon. But in this case it's got straight sides, right? I'm modeling a beam, a hexagonal beam that's doing this, so it's curving. So if I'm to approximate this, it doesn't really, it's going to be a really crude approximation if I did it by loads of little super straight edges. So there's a way of doing it instead of having like a hexagon, two straight edges, and a hexagon here, that is like a hexagon here, and it's two curves that are joining them. So that's what the curvilinear stuff is about. It's like linear on the bottom and then it's curvy on the sides. So that is for the research proposal that comes out of this, that's for future work. So instead I've been instructed to make some pretty pictures today. So that's what I'm doing today.
Nice. What are you up to? How's your group going?
It's going well. It's going better than yesterday. I think it's difficult on a Wednesday to feel like you've made enough progress. But like I say, you don't have a full day of actually working on anything. But our group has been working on like 2 separate problems in the hope that we could mesh them together at some point. And somebody in the group has come up with an idea of how we can actually mesh them together, which is
that's
hopefully
good.
like really good. Yeah. So I am a little bit, dare I say, excited that this might actually come off. Like,
Scandalous.
Nice. Can you give us some insight into what they are?
One model is like a fluids model,
Okay.
a continuum model of water flowing in a channel underground, and then the other is like an agent-based model of like households taking the water. So we want to be able to couple them together and see how the agents removing the water from the continuum affects the fluid flow.
Cool. Nice. That's actually really cool. So yeah, that's the plan for the day. Enjoy the sunshine. It is a whopping 26 degrees at the moment, and I'm melting and roasting.
How's the day been for the two of you?
Long, but good.
Yeah, I think it's been good. We definitely got to a point where we've made some good progress in our group, getting ready for tomorrow for presentations. So yeah, it's weird how quickly the week's gone. I think like you sort of get to like Monday and Tuesday feel like quite long days, and then because it's a lot of listening and a lot of sort of discussions, and then Wednesday and Thursday just go by like that. Yeah.
Completely. I'm quite tired, I'm really honest, but it's been a good day. Today has just felt really long, even though I spent the day making pretty pictures and just animations and stuff. They look so cool.
They do look good.
They look so cool. I'm really happy with them. So they're just going to make the presentation look nice. It's more of I thought I was going to be doing a bit more coding today. But to be honest, I think I would have been really, really stressed. And I've just had a really nice day. It's more of like proof of concept proposal.
Yeah,
more
definitely.
than actually, I don't need a toy model. I
Yeah.
have a model,
Yeah.
and I think this is kind of how I would go ahead and discuss it.
Yeah, like we've not long had that conversation in our group that I think it's easy to get carried away in the ITT and think like you've got to come out of it with this really solid thing that's like this really good model and some code that works, and actually it's not. It is all about proof of concept, and actually is there somewhere we can go with this in the future?
After the ITT, every group has to produce a report, mainly in the style of a research proposal. It's not an actual grant proposal, you know, it doesn't really go into any of the financials and all that sort of stuff, but it's kind of just like practice,
as if we
I
were
guess.
hiring a PhD student for it, or
but the great thing about the ITTs are a lot of the times the projects actually go on further, right? You get PhD projects out of them, you get like video reading courses or master's projects. Sometimes you even get huge grants as well. Like there's just so much that comes out of it. It's so it's really, really good. So that's kind of why it's the point isn't to solve the problem or to have a really, really like extensive model. It's just to show that there's a way to go with it, which is nice. So yeah, that's kind of tomorrow's be good.
And I'm off home now, so I'm done for the day.
It is 5. Ooh, I think it's like 5:30.
Yeah, 5:30.
It's 5:30 now. So but earlier on we were offered, so it's not compulsory or anything like that. It wasn't pushed. But you know, some people like to work a bit later and just make sure everything's done for presentations. Some of the co-directors are ordering pizza for everyone who's staying late and all that sort of stuff. So I think I'm going to stay late. I'm making decent work. I still need to make my slides, to be honest. Like I said, I spent all day making animations. Insert maybe a couple of them here. Yeah, I'm going to stay late, make my slides, and
I don't blame you. Like sometimes I think it is quite nice to go home on the Thursday and know you don't have to come in and stress about it tomorrow.
Yeah, definitely. It's also 26 degrees outside, so I think if I stay a bit later, it's going to be cooler when I walk home, which is also nice because
and the free food doesn't hurt.
And the free food, yeah, that's the plan for the evening. So it's end of day for Beth, but come with me. We're gonna stay later behind the scenes. Bye. See ya. Hello. It is 8:15. I'm gonna go home now. We had pizza. It was nice. Had some veggie pizza. I did some work. Did some slide stuff. I'm gonna go home. I think I'll finish it at home. See you tomorrow. Bye. I look so short.
You are so short.
What
day is it?
Friday.
What's happening?
Today is presentations day, so pretty much like all day is just every group does a presentation on what we've been working on for the last few days. Yeah.
So morning is CEA presentations and afternoon is Schlumberger presentations. I'm going first. So you know the way earlier on in the week when I was like, oh yes, lucky me, I don't have to present or anything like that because I'm not like being assessed on this. I'm now going to be presenting twice because I presented Wednesday already and now I'm presenting today.
How are you feeling about how your projects turned out?
I'm really happy actually. So like we branched off into loads of mini side quests. So yeah, like I kind of have a model that I think would be used and can be extended, and then I just made some pictures of maybe of how it would be discretized and that sort of stuff. Like yeah, but everyone else does a really, really good job. Like there's this whole thing on like unstructured meshes and sweeping that the guys did, and it looks so freaking cool. Like there's one of the guys in my group is just an insane programmer, like, and he just managed to, it was so freaking cool what he's after doing. So yeah, I'm happy.
Yeah, our group's the same in the sense that we've split off into like lots of little kind of mini projects that we're hoping to come together. I don't think we've quite made them fit together and have something solid, but we know how we would do it. And like you say, it's just the idea is there, and I think with an extra day we might have actually been able to get it done. But we're on a time.
That's the point as well. Like I mean, if someone is to take this project forward, that's kind of up to them to choose.
Yeah, exactly. How's the progression been throughout the week?
So if you asked me on Monday, would I be doing curvilinear finite elements, I would have said, what the heck? No. But it's been really, really fun. Or would you tell me that on Thursday all I did was make animations in Canva? I also probably would have said no. But no, it's been fun. It's been good. I expected myself to be doing a bit more PDE modeling itself. But I'm actually quite happy with, like, it's been just a nice, I've gotten work done, but it hasn't been stressful, which is nice. I'm just, yeah, I've had a lovely week. It's been my favorite ITT so far. And just my team has been so nice. It's just a really, really good team environment.
Yeah, I think it definitely depends on what team you get and whether you work well together. But I think it's too difficult to say. Like at the start of the week, like you come in and you don't really know what the problems are going to be. So it's difficult to say what you expect to get out at the end. And I mean, I've been like trying to compare it to like where I was at this time, like my last ITT. And again, I think that's something difficult to do because everyone is different.
Okay, so presentations are happening most of the day, and then what happens afterwards?
After the presentations, we'll have some lunch and sort of close of day, kind of final comments and thanks to the partners and all the people that got involved. And then yeah, there might be a few beverages or refreshments.
A few wines.
Yeah.
First up, we've got Beth and Jenny.
I was looking at a reactor core flowering over the last couple of days. So for modeling one rod, you can use Euler-Bernoulli beam theory.
The motivation for our problem is quite close to home. The water from the Mendip Hills flows down into this underground channel at 20 degrees, and it flows underground and gets heated as it goes, arriving in Bath at the hot springs where we receive water at a temperature of 42 degrees, which is all great considering it's in tourism. So yeah, but then what if a village halfway between the two decided that they wanted to start liberating some of this water to supply themselves with their own geothermal energy source? Would it be possible to sustain the supply to Bath Spa and sustain it at the same temperature? So our group has been working on two different models, one looking at the agent-based side of things and one looking at the continuum flow of the water and seeing how these two systems would interact to hopefully develop a sustainable source.
How are you feeling?
I'm feeling great, superb.
These are the faces behind the camera.
Hi.
Introduce yourself.
No.
Seb.
Just Seb. No last name, no sir, no. Me Seb.
I've seen some great presentations this morning. Jenny's titles didn't work, but it wasn't her fault, it was the fact that the machine messed it up. ITT is good, there were croissants.
So I have the pleasure of being the person between you and lunch. So just a bunch of thank yous. First, most of all, thank you to the partners who devoted their time, their energy, and helped our students. There's some famous Englishman who said, you know, this is not the end, it's not the beginning of the end, it's just the end of the beginning. So this 1 week is just the start, and hopefully this is a partnership that with CEA and with Schlumberger will keep going and flourishing. So I think now lunch is in order, and thank you very much, and we're done with the ITT. All right.
You're done.
I know.
How's it feel?
It's good.
Yeah?
I think it's a roller coaster of emotions. We go up and down throughout the week. But I think it's nice that it always seems to end on a high note.
That's good. Yeah, and you're happy with how your presentation went?
Yeah, definitely. Like I think I said everything I wanted to say, and it was always nice. I think it's nice to get questions from the audience as well. Like sometimes you think, is it because I haven't explained things clearly, but then maybe it's just because people are actually interested. And it's like it's accessible for them, and they want to know more. So yeah, I think it's always nice to get questions.
Alex, sum up the week in a single word.
Great.
Sum up the week in a sum up the week in a single word.
Energizing.
Hot.
Fantastic.
Productive.
Fun.
Sunny.
Chaos.
Amazing.
If you could give a bit of advice to someone who was going to do their first ITT, what would you say?
I'm going to come at it from two different approaches. Any incoming cohorts, do your homework, okay? Like, you do get a lot of pre-ITT sessions and all that sort of stuff. Take advantage of that. You are going to find it a lot less stressful and a lot less daunting and a bit easier to go into it if you kind of know what's coming up, right? So like if you've been to all the pre-presentations, for any discussion sessions that you do, come in with an idea that you know that you can contribute. Don't get so stressed about it is one thing I would say. If you're afraid that you're going to get a project that you don't feel super well versed in, maybe just treat it as an experience to learn something new. You learn about a new area of maths. It's a very supportive research environment. If you're not being great on it, what advice would I give? Enjoy it. I don't know, I know it sounds like lame, but like I would just say enjoy it, and I guess take advantage of maybe the industrial connections that you're getting. This could be a perfect opportunity to try and get some sort of internship. Talk to the partners, connect on them on LinkedIn and all this sort of stuff. Get to know other people in the department as well. It really is an invaluable experience, you know, and it's very rare that other universities get to do this. Even the partner said today, they don't do this with any other university. It's really quite a Bath specific thing, particularly SAMBa. So yeah, that's what I would recommend. If you are in Bath, and particularly in the maths department, come to the ITT. If you're not in the maths department, ask if you can come to the ITT. I'm not guaranteeing that they will say yes, it depends on your background, but just ask. Or if you want to be a partner, if you think you have some problems that you think some mathematicians could solve for you, give us a call. We'll be happy to help you with those. This is the future of research, I think, is this kind of collaborative environment. Yeah, I'm looking forward to seeing what comes out of it. I think there's going to be some good projects there. Yeah.
Nice.
Thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.